Hi friends, so today we're going to be making a Vanishing Point Pumpkin Patch. So the very first thing that you're going to do is the same thing you do on every single project is you're going to write your name and class code on the back. I'm going to flip it over. So to make our pumpkin patch, we're going to try to make it look as realistic as we can. So we're going to be using perspective. For this project, we're going to be using 1 point perspective, which means all of our lines are going to come from one single point on our paper to make it look like our pumpkin patch is going back. So we're looking at a horizon line and our pumpkin patch is getting further and further away the closer we get to that point. So I'm going to find the center of my paper on either side. So this paper is 9 inches, which means 4.5 would be at my half, and I'm just going to put a very light line there. I'm going to find 4.5 on this side and put it there. I don't know if you can see, I put tiny little dashes so that I can tell where that center point is on my paper. And then I am going to use my ruler and line up right on those lines, trying to get it as close as possible. Then I'm going to use a Sharpie for this. You will use a pencil first, and then we will go over everything in Sharpie later, just like always. We're going to go right across. And this will be my horizon line. So we know what a horizon line is. This is the very edge, and all of this is ground, and all of this is sky. So it's like we're looking at a landscape, and we can see the ground, and we can see all the sky, and it's right down the middle. To make rows for our pumpkin patch, we need to make that dot right in the middle. So I'm gonna try to find the center. This is 12 inches, which means 6 inches would be our center. So that little dot right there is the center of my paper. I don't know if you can see it, but you'll be able to see it in a second. I just made it a little bit thicker on that line right there, so that I could see where all of my lines are going back to. So my very first line, I'm going to take that center dot all the way to this corner of my paper. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to do one right down the middle. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows for my pumpkins. My next step is to draw my actual pumpkins. So because we're using 1 point perspective, all of our objects that are up here will be a lot bigger, and they will get smaller as we go back. So our pumpkins are kind of a round shape, and so we're gonna have the biggest ones right up here, and as I go further down into this little corner, they're gonna get smaller and smaller. So I'm gonna start right here with my very first pumpkin. I'm gonna make it pretty big. And then we have lines on our pumpkin, right, to make them look three-dimensional. So when we go to add color next time, we can make these look very three-dimensional by adding shadows. But right now we need those lines that slice our pumpkin into pieces. Okay, so now I have lots and lots of pumpkin slices. I'm gonna add a little stem. And now I need to add some more pumpkins going back. So this one needs to be a lot smaller than this one. And then I will repeat that on each section. So you can fit 3 to 4 pumpkins in each of these little sections. This one, I'm gonna start a little further over to the side because we are standing like here in our field. So these pumpkins will be a little bit further off to the side. Okay, so I have now drawn all my little pumpkins. I made some really itty bitty ones. I made some really very big ones. And not all of these look like they're flat on the ground because pumpkins are kind of weird shapes. They're not all perfect circles. So I made them look like maybe they have some lumps and bumps that keep them from sitting flat on their bottom. Our next step is to add some backgrounds. And here's where you can get really, really creative. You can add trees, you can add birds, you can add a fence. I think I'm gonna start by adding a little barn in the back, but we need to remember because it's on the horizon line, it should be pretty small in comparison. So it'll still be bigger than our pumpkins, but not by much because it's gonna be really far away. Okay, so now I have some trees and I have a barn, and you can add whatever else you feel like in the sky, but let's not try to fill up this middle part too much because I want to add a sun with some rays. So when we go to paint this, we can have a nice sunrise or sunset over our pumpkin patch. So to begin having the sunrise without color, we need that center sun. I'm gonna draw a sunset, so the sun will be going down, so I'm gonna put it right on the horizon, a little half circle, to show that the sun is going down. It's going below that horizon line that we drew. I also want to add some rays for the sun. So I'm gonna start with these same lines that I had on the bottom, but I'm just gonna make sure not to go through any of the new things that I've drawn. So not my barn or my trees or my sun. And it does not have to be perfect, just as close as we can get it. And then, because it's a sunrise and it's not just a patch for the pumpkin, I'm gonna add a few more little lines in between to really give it that illusion of the sun is just going down. Okay, so I have a good amount of lines. I have my pumpkin patch. I think there is where I'm going to stop for day one. So you'll draw this all in pencil. You'll go over it with your Sharpie and then erase any extra pencil lines so we don't have any extra lines when we go to add color next class. Okay, so for day 2 of our Vanishing Point Pumpkin Patch, we are going to go in and watercolor our image. So you will have your watercolor tray, a cup of water, a paintbrush, a paper towel, and you will also need a messy mat because anytime we are painting, we do need a messy mat. So I'm gonna start by activating my watercolors by dropping a few dots of water in each of the little pans. You can kind of watercolor your picture however you want. However, I want you to use 2 colors for each section. So that can mean whatever you want it to mean. For my pumpkins, if I wanted them to look like classic pumpkins, I could use some oranges and reds or oranges and yellows. For my trees, I could use 2 different kinds of greens and brown and black for my trunks. For my sky, you can do a nice blue sky. You can have like this one be blue and purple and this one be yellow and orange if you want the sun rays to come up. You can kind of do it however you want. You just need 2 colors in every single section that you drew. So I'm gonna go in and start watercoloring. Remember, when you are watercoloring, you need to make sure that in between each color, you rinse out your paintbrush really, really good and then dry it off to make sure there is no paint still on your brush because we do not want to mix colors in our palette. We only want to mix colors on our paper. So you can see on this pumpkin, I put orange near the bottom and yellow near the top. And I'm just going to repeat the 2-color process with all of my details. Okay, so I have finished painting all of my pumpkins. Now I am not going to paint my ground next because it's so close to my pumpkins and my pumpkins are still wet that if I go to paint this section, then the paint from my pumpkins will bleed onto my background. So I'm gonna flip this over just so it's easier to paint on this side, and I'm gonna work on some details over here. Again, I'm not going to go in and paint the trunks right now because it's so close to where I just painted. I want to let that dry a little bit. Anywhere where I get a little bit too close because the paint is still wet, I can go back and take a paper towel and dry the areas where the colors start to bleed. So like right there I had some orange bleed, I have some here too, I have some green up here, and I'm just going to try to soak up some of that color. That way when it's a little bit drier, I can go back over it with the color that I want it to be, and I can cover up any of those little mistakes. Okay, so I have added at least 2 colors to every single section of my painting. You are going to take this on top of the messy mat over to the drawing rack and set it there for next time. Next time, right when you come in, you need to Oldsonia this, upload it, and then turn it into me.